Hey y'all, come on into my kitchen and have a seat at my table because today we're making macaroni and cheese. So when you get in, go ahead and click share and make sure when you get an opportunity that you like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell on my YouTube page, Little Trey's Kitchen. So today, like I said, we're going to make a little macaroni and cheese. Now this is just my Southern macaroni and cheese. I say all the time, I'm a city girl with country roots. This is how my mama made macaroni and cheese, and it took me years to learn how she made her macaroni and cheese. And this is how her mom made macaroni and cheese. So I'm going to show you what I learned over the years in watching her do it. So I went ahead and boiled my macaroni. I like to make my macaroni and cheese in one pot. So I go ahead and make the macaroni, and you can tell I just really poured this up into this dish. You can see the steam still coming off of it. So what I normally do is I take the macaroni and I go ahead and cook it, and then I just drain it and I put it into the casserole dish that I'm going to be making my macaroni and cheese in. So that's what you see right here before you. Normally I don't use recipes because I always say a recipe is someone else's idea on how they think your food should taste. Today, because it took me years to learn this method on how my mom made her macaroni and cheese, I'm going to give you a couple measurements today. So get a pen, get a piece of paper. We're going to really get this going today. So in my pot, I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter. This is just the same pot that I use to make and I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of flour. So just so that you'll know that it's equal parts, 3 and 3. 3 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of butter. And I'm just going to stir this around. And all we're looking to do is just to cook the flour taste just cook the raw flour out. I'm going to use pepper. How much pepper? I don't know. How much pepper your people like. My people, we like pepper. So we like to see pepper going throughout. If you are just looking for a little bit of pepper, then just do maybe a half a teaspoon. I'm also going to add a little paprika. Why paprika? Because I like the hidden flavor that it gives. So we're just going to use maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. Paprika is kind of smoky, and it gives it a little bit of smoky flavor to the background. It's just a background note. And you're just going to stir this pot. I'm going to turn my handle around. You're just going to stir it. It also gives it a cute little color too. I know you're probably saying, Trey, that sure is a lot of pepper. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay that it's a lot of pepper. We like pepper, so we're going to use some pepper. It's not going to make it heat. It's just going to give it a little flavor. And just like the roux, any roux that you're making, you're just going to stir it just a few minutes until the flour taste is done, maybe a minute or so. And that's what I've done here. And at this point, it should really look just like that. Now, here we go. I got 2 cups of milk. I'm going to switch my hands because I'm a righty. This is 2 cups of milk. I'm going to start off by pouring maybe a cup of milk in first. You want to stir and pour at the same time because you don't want to have clumps, and you want to just keep going just like that. So we're going to do maybe a cup first, or almost a cup, just to make this smooth. And you want to just keep stirring until it becomes a little smooth. Macaroni and cheese really isn't hard, and once you learn how to do this is what they call a bechamel. Nice little bechamel sauce, and we're just going to make sure that this is nice and lump free. Just stir, stir, stir. If you have a whisk, you can use a whisk too. Now, with making this cheese sauce, you don't want to really go anywhere or go far from the stove because it can go really fast and thicken up and stick to the bottom and burn before you know it. Again, we're just making a quick bechamel sauce. Bechamel cream sauce. Cheese sauce, I'm sorry. Bechamel cheese sauce. And just like when we were making our roux, we want to make sure it gets thick got a mess on the stove. You just want to, I know, look at all that pepper. Isn't that pretty? We just want to stir it until it gets thick. Now, how thick is thick and how long do you stir it? Well, what my mom taught me was when you can rub your finger through the back of the spoon and the sauce doesn't bleed through your line, then your sauce is thick. What is that? I don't know. I'm just saying what she told me. So I'm going to say that when I do this, it probably is about, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. So it's not a hard process, but it is a labor of love because you are stirring it. Now, I'm telling you, this is all worth it in the end. You want to make sure that you're getting around the entire pot. You want to go around all the corners. I know pot doesn't have corners, but you want to go all the way around. You want to go back and forth, making sure nothing is sticking to the bottom of your pot. I got this on maybe a medium. I got my stove, my range top on like maybe a medium, just so that we can go ahead and get this cooking. If you have not already boiled your pasta, go ahead and boil your pasta according to the directions on the package. I would probably say do more to 8 minutes than 10 minutes, only because we're gonna bake this off. So it's gonna soak up some more of this, it's gonna soak up this cream sauce, and it's gonna be rather, you don't want your pasta to be gummy or mushy. So about 8 minutes instead of the 8 to 10. Instead of 10, that's on the package, or even stop it at 6 or 7 is even good. You want it to have a little bite, but again, when it's all said and done, this is going to soak up some of this moisture, and it's going to continue to cook. Now, let me tell y'all, my daughter is a macaroni and cheese fiend. Like, every time she hears that I'm making macaroni and cheese, she wants her own container of macaroni and cheese. So one time she's at my mom's house and she comes home, Mom, G-Mama made the best macaroni and cheese ever. And I said, yeah? She goes, yeah, Mom, it was so good. And I said, oh, that's great. I love her macaroni and cheese. She's my mom. Of course I love her macaroni and cheese. She goes, her macaroni and cheese is better than yours. I said, it should be. She's been making it a whole lot longer. And then she was like, maybe a few weeks later, Mom, can you make me some macaroni and cheese? I told her, no. Go ask your G-Mama to make you some macaroni and cheese. Hers is better. But I realized what my issue was, is that I was making macaroni and cheese with that packaged shredded cheese, that pre-shredded cheese that, you know. And what I came to learn is that stuff has additives in it, so that when you make it, when you're using it, it already has like flour and stuff in its cornstarch to keep it from sticking together. So that's the reason why I stopped using pre-shredded macaroni, pre-shredded cheese, and I went to using just straight block cheese, and I shred it by hand myself, either in the food processor or on my box grater. Today I did my box grater. So let me show you. This is already thickening up just really nice. If you can tell on the back of the spoon, we're gonna go through, and you see how it's not bleeding through. It's a little bit, but not too much. But I've already gone ahead and turned my eye off. Y'all saw me lick my fingers. Hold on, let me wash my hands.
Uncle Victor said Chase and Sarah want to come over.
Absolutely. My babies are always welcome to Auntie's house. So we're already at a good stage. Now listen, if this gets thick, it's okay. You can add some more milk. Oh, but Trey, I've used all my milk. Okay, well, if you have some cream, you can always add the cream. When we add our cheese, we're gonna add, the cheese is also gonna thicken it up. So you may be saying, Trey, you said add salt. Where's the salt? Well, I don't add salt to the cream sauce right away, only because, one, the pasta is already salty, and when you're boiling your pasta, you add salt to it, and so you don't want to add any additional salt just yet. I'll tell you when we can add some additional salt. And your cheese is kind of salty too. So speaking of cheese, I've already turned this off, and it's already kind of thick. I've already showed you that we can rub our finger across and it's not bleeding. So I won't lick my fingers again, but I will just simply wipe it off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my cheese. I have, this is sharp cheese and this is extra sharp cheese. It's a Tillamook is what I have grown to like. Either that or Cracker Barrel are the two flavors, the two cheeses I like. Now this is not a nice stringy cheese or nice cream, stringy macaroni and cheese. If you'd like to have a stringy macaroni and cheese, then add mozzarella. You can add mozzarella cheese to it. You can also add like a Swiss or Gruyere. That'll give you that nice stringy, cheesy pool that you're looking for. I'm okay. We like creamy macaroni and cheese, nice, sophisticated macaroni and cheese is what I call it. So I'm gonna go ahead and this is like 2 cups of cheese. You want to add this in stages. You don't want to just add it all at the same time. So I'm going to add just a little bit and we're going to stir it. Stir until that section of cheese is melted. And look, it's already thick. So I have 2 options. I can add more milk, or I can add some cream. Guess what I'm going to add? I'm going to add some cream. You know why? I have it on hand and I want to use it up, but also because cream is going to make it even creamier. So I've added some cream and stopped the thickening process, because that's what the flour does. It makes it thicker, and it's okay. You just got to know your food. So I'm going to also add more cheese.
Shatilla wants to come over for lunch.
Shatilla, come on, Shatilla. Now, macaroni and cheese is not a meal. Macaroni and cheese is a side item. So, what you bringing? Okay, yeah. So, we've got this going. We're just going to go ahead and just stir in more cheese. You don't want to add all your cheese because we're going to add some cheese to the top too. Look at this, y'all. It's melting. It's melting. It's melting. Okay, so I like the whiz. That's where I got that from. I'm gonna turn it on just low a little bit so that I can, my cream was a little cold, so it kind of cooled down my pot a little bit, so it stopped my cheese from melting as well as I wanted it to. So I'm gonna heat it up just a little bit. And what you're gonna do is, once your cheese is all melted, we're gonna add it to our pasta. And then we're going to top it with more cheese and we're going to put it in the oven. No, I don't add eggs to my pasta, to my macaroni and cheese. I know people that do, and that is fine. We don't, but if you choose to, then that's okay. This is how I make my macaroni and cheese, so don't tell me that, Trey, you're supposed to add an egg. No, this is how we like our macaroni and cheese, because it's just how my mom and her mom and her mom and her mom and her mom made macaroni and cheese. And so this is what I do. This is how we are making our macaroni and our cheese. Or as my kids call it, cheese and then some macaroni. So we're going to stir this up. And do you guys see how fast that was? This is faster than a box. Oh my gosh. And it tastes so much better than making the box macaroni and cheese. I don't add the processed cheese, although I have tried that a couple of times. My family did not like it. They did not like the little long block of processed cheese that you cut into cubes. They said it made it taste funny. Okay, that's fine. If you want to add that, by all means, this is the time that you would add it. It will make it creamier. My family didn't like it, so I don't do it anymore. You can also add different kind of cheeses. My family's weird. I like to add different things to my macaroni and cheese. I like to try things out. I know people that do 5 cheese macaroni and cheese. My family don't eat that. They won't. Who knew? I've tried making it with Gouda, smoked Gouda. I've done Gruyere. I've done cheese. I've done mozzarella. I've mixed up a plethora of cheeses. And my family have tasted it and they say, that's different. And then they won't eat it after that one time. But if I stick to the tried and true of just sharp cheddar and extra sharp cheddar, they devour it. So they are purists at heart, and I gotta love them for it. So I don't fault them. I just hate that they're not as adventurous as I am. Now, this is the stage that if you wanted to add some add-ins, again, my family won't let me, but I like to. So if you want to spice this up, this is the time to chop up some jalapenos and dice them up really good, including the seeds, and throw them in. Yummy, spicy macaroni and cheese is really good. You can also, at this point, if you had some crab, you can throw the crab meat in, yum, and have some crab macaroni and cheese. You can also add some lobster at this point and make this a whole seafood macaroni and cheese. Crab, lobster, shrimp, throw it all in. Crawfish, throw it all in. And make it a seafood macaroni and cheese. Now, at that point, that's a whole meal.
Julie said bacon.
That's my love language. Fry some bacon up and crumble some bacon on top. That's my love language. I like you. I love you because you're speaking my language. Okay, so I've gotten this cheese nice and melted. Again, this is not a stringy macaroni and cheese. If you want that cheese pool, then you just change the type of cheese that you're using. I'm going to go ahead and pour this over. It might be just a tad thick. I'm going to add just a tad bit of milk because I've used up all my cream. It looks a little thick to me, so I'm just going to add just a touch. There we go. You want it a little loose. You don't want it too thick because once you put it into the oven, it's going to thicken up some more. Now, again, I said this is a side item, so you're probably wondering, well, Trey, if this is a side item, what you making with it? Well, I got some green beans that I'm got in this pot on the stove, and I've also got some turkey thighs that I got in the oven, and so we're gonna have some turkey thighs and green beans with our macaroni and cheese. And we were able to harvest some squash from our garden, so I think I might saute up some squash with some onions and have that along with it. So look at here, okay. Nice and smooth. Look at that. Look how nice and smooth that is. It's really, really looking good there. We're going to just go ahead and pour it right on over. So this angle is going to be kind of hard to shoot at. Can you get it? There we go. And as you're pouring your cheese sauce, you want to keep stirring it because your pasta has a tendency to thicken, to get nice and sticky because it's nice and dried out. Look at this, y'all. Look at this in this pot coming out. Uh-oh. Can you see? There you go. Looky. Here comes Sticky. Y'all remember that commercial? Pest Control?
They're still around. Why wouldn't you remember it?
Yeah, so I don't know if they have that same.
They do.
They have that same
It's the
one.
same jingle.
Same jingle. So we're going to stir this up nice and creamy. And listen. This is the point that you can actually taste your macaroni and sauce and see if this is what you want it to be. And if you want to add more salt, you could. So here we go. I'm going to taste it. Out my hand just like that. Oh. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. So, yeah. Doesn't need any more salt. The macaroni was salty enough. So I'm just going to take the remainder of our cheese, maybe 3/4 of a cup left. And this is what we're going to do. I don't like crunchy macaroni and cheese. My family, they don't like crunchy macaroni and cheese. So what we're just going to do, because some people, they do put like breadcrumbs or whatever on top. We don't. We just throw some extra cheese on top of it. Just like this. Trying to get all my little cheese out. And here we go. Uh-oh, hold on. Cheese don't want to get melted. There we go. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this in the oven. And because I told you guys my daughter is a macaroni and cheese fiend, she asked if I would be so gracious and make her own. So earlier today, I made one. So let's put this in the oven and grab the other one out. Here we go. Woo woo. Set this one underneath. If you guys could hear this macaroni and cheese talking, it's talking and it's talking good. Here we go. Let's set it on this countertop. Now I would like it to be a little darker on top, a little brown, because what? There's flavor in the brown. So we're gonna go ahead and get this plated up a little bit. Scoop me a little bit of this. Although I'm not eating carbs, but I'm gonna scoop a little bit. Look at this, you guys. Look how nice and creamy that is. Nice and creamy. I want my whole corner. Hold on. Now this will probably be the only serving I eat today, but can you see the pepper flakes throughout, the bits of pepper throughout the macaroni and cheese? See how nice and creamy it is? Now, listen, if you want to add an egg to this, don't. No, just kidding. You can add an egg to it before you put it in the oven. You just take an egg, scramble it, break it up really good, and then you pour it in with that sauce, pour it into before you put the cheese on top, and then you just go from there. It's just one added component that just makes it set a little better and keeps the creaminess going. I was trying to hold off because I know this is super hot and it's going to burn my mouth when I eat it. But we're just going to go on in. We're going to go ahead and taste this. Y'all pray for me. Oh, it wasn't that bad. But when I tell you, the good cheese makes a major difference. Good cheese. If you like Cracker Barrel, if you like Tillamook, if you like Sargento or Kraft, whatever the good cheese you like, that's what you need to use. Do not by any means use pre-shredded cheese, because what that does is it dilutes your flavor a little bit, and you don't want that to happen. Again, they put other additives in it to keep it from sticking, and that alters how your macaroni and cheese turns out.
Kimberly asked us at the brand of cheese you use.
I use Tillamook. Let me show it to you. Hold on. This is the brand of cheese that I use today. And I've explained to you, I know you see that it's white. So let me share this. Cheese, cheddar cheese, is originally white. It has no color. So when you see orange cheese, they've added coloring to it. It's fine. Doesn't alter the flavor. We associate cheddar cheese with being orange, but cheddar cheese really is white. So I use this. I use the extra sharp, and I also use sharp. I don't go past that. I like we like that twang that it gives. But this is the brand that I use. I also use Cracker Barrel because I like the way that it works too. I just grate it on a box grater, or you use my food processor so that it melts. So it's able to melt really good. Listen, I started a YouTube channel. I'd like for you guys to go over to that YouTube channel. It's Lil Trey's Kitchen. Like, comment, subscribe, and then click the bell so that you guys can get notified that when I upload other videos. I often do other videos that I don't do on my live, and so you'll see other things listed. This macaroni and cheese today should be listed, should be uploaded by the weekend, so you'll have an opportunity. Hopefully you guys took the time to try to do this with me today and see how easy and simple it really is to make a cheese bechamel, and then able to make your own macaroni and cheese from scratch without using the box and without using that long block processed cheese. This is my daughter's macaroni and cheese. She's probably gonna be a little irritated that I took a bite out of it, but I had to prep it and I had to get it started. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So she can either eat it or she can freeze it. I mean, we can freeze it just like this, and we can always have it for another day. All you would do is make sure that you let it cool completely to room temperature, Wrap it a few times with saran wrap. Before wrapping with saran wrap, I'm sorry, layer it with, put a layer of either wax paper or parchment paper on top to fit the top of it. Wrap it really good, and then wrap it in foil. Make sure you date it and put it in the freezer at that point once it's completely cool, and then you can have macaroni and cheese whenever you want to. You can also get macaroni and cheese and put them in this little saucer cups, and then you can have single serving macaroni and cheese whenever you want to. Just follow the same instructions. Just put it in there. Don't melt the cheese. Just put it on there, and then wrap it with some put some parchment or wax paper, and then wrap it and with plastic wrap, and then foil. Date it and put it in the freezer, and pull it out whenever you want to. It can go from the freezer straight to the oven, and you're gonna cook it in the oven for 15-20 minutes until it really is bubbly and has some brown markings on it, so that you know that your cheese is nice and gooey and melted and yummy yum. And then bring it out and serve it. So again, head over to my YouTube channel, click like, subscribe, and comment. And I appreciate you all for joining me today in my kitchen. Thank you so much. Hopefully you click the share button, and because sharing is caring. So thank you so much. Enjoy your day. I love you all. Until next time, big hugs and tight squeeze. Bye-bye.